So, Jorge Maria Bergoglio has had a sit down with his buddies and has had a change of mind. Now, this dude, Jorge Maria Bergoglio, if you want to translate that into English, I did it for you before already. It translates into George Mary Buggeryall. So, George Mary Buggeryall goes around the world under the pseudonym Pope Francis, like Saint Francis of Assisi, very nice man. He said, "Don't eat that animal, he is my friend." And they said, "No, we come to eat your breakfast, lunch, and dinner, buddy." And that's what they do. Now, being who he is and what he is, he's a high up member in this Jesuit order, the military wing of the Holy Roman Empire. The bankers, the money printers. And Jorge Maria Bergoglio is wanted. An arrest warrant has been issued for him by the International Common Law Court of Human Rights in Belgium. Arrest warrants for kidnapping, murder, and child trafficking for thousands of people in the dirty war in Argentina in the 1970s when he was a bishop or an archbishop or some fucking thing like that. So, he has announced that he wants Ukraine to surrender, raise the white flag. What does this mean? This means that the money supply is to be cut off. That's what that means. You cannot go to war without a war chest. And every king and emperor and ruler and president down throughout the ages who has gathered all his countrymen together to go to war has had to have a war chest. And these bankers, they supply money to both sides in every war, have done all down through the ages. And so they can cut the supply off of one side and determine the outcome of the war. They did that during the big war because short-ass mustachioed bastard from Austria who took over Germany in the 1930s was Jesuit trained, part of the cabal and an agent of the cabal whose sole purpose was the implementation of the Balfour Agreement. But to end the war, Germany surrendered, but the nasties did not surrender. They went on and took over the whole world. And in that way, they were able to determine the outcome of the war. You know, lend money to this side, lend money to that side. I've mentioned it before. Japan attacked America, but it wasn't Japan. It was the Mitsubishi Bank and Mitsubishi Motor Company owned by the Jesuits. So then they did the same in America. They gave a war chest to Roosevelt. Same people, low-life scumbags. So anyway, George Mary Buggeryall, sorry, has just asked for Ukraine to surrender. And that means, really, that I just said the money supply. That's their way of saying, we are not gonna supply you with any more money. You've lost. You just got the shit kicked out of yourselves. Now, the poor, dead, lying on the battlefield, they're collecting from all of their trust funds They have to be paid for. Dog tags have to be paid for in these type of conflicts. So they've come to their senses and said, we can't win this, we got to back out. Now, I don't have a dog in this fight. I don't have a side in this conflict. I hate war, all sides of it. But yet, I knew from day one, from the very start, anyone with a half an ounce of common sense would have known from day one, you cannot take on the fucking Russian army. It can't be done. So the day it began, I knew what the result of the war would be. Now, the only way to defeat Russia would be to invite them to Mexico and say, right, invade the United States. They would lose. With 6, 7, 8,000 miles of a supply line across the Atlantic Ocean, they would lose. But they can't lose now because they are in their own backyard. And all the other countries of the world who want to fight them would lose because their supply lines have to come from 10,000 miles away and they ain't going to make it across the Atlantic. So that's the news there. And that's the reasoning behind it. The money, the bankers who are the money printers have said, right, no more. Recently, in the last few days, they lost some very, very expensive air defense equipment. Very expensive. Somebody scratching their head going, holy fuck, no, this has got to end now. We can't afford it any longer. We're not going to pay it any longer. We have another war going on over here, which we can supply money to. And this suits us even better because the slaughter that's taking place in the Middle East. All you have to do is read the Jesuit oath and you will understand why they allow so many civilians, women and children, doesn't matter, slaughter them, because it's in their oath to Ignatius Loyola's Jesuit order to rob and steal everything that's on this earth for their society, so that when Jesus comes back, they can say, look, oh, here it is, it's all yours now. He refused Satan's offer before, after 40 days in the fucking desert, so he ain't going to accept it now. Now, let's drop that subject. Let me get on to another subject now. And that is the referendums that took place in Ireland over the weekend, where they put forward a proposal to remove the word woman and mother and family and everything that holds a society together out of the Constitution so that they could rip and tear their way through what remains of the Irish people. Ireland is an important place in the Holy Roman Empire's running of the world. It's run from Ireland. The most powerful man in the United States is the Archbishop of New York. He gives all the orders. President, he don't know shit from Shinola. So they had this referendum, and I have a different take on what it was all about. They knew that they could never win such a referendum. They knew from the off that if you put such a proposal to the Irish people, they will turn it down en masse with a vast majority. I told a friend of mine last week that it will be an 80% no vote. He didn't agree with me because he was saying that it was going to go through and it's the beginning of a new era of fucking tyranny. I said, no, it ain't going to happen. It's going to be a massive 80% no vote because in general, the Irish people are not fucking perverted. They are down-to-earth, grounded people in general. Now, you have a 15-20% minority who are fucked up and they will vote the other way. That's what happened. So I was right, 80%. But I have to say that those that put this referendum forward knew this before it began. So what was the whole plan and what was the whole idea all about? The whole idea was all about making the people believe that they've gained a victory. Oh, like your football team just won the match. Your county team just won the All Ireland or whatever the fuck. That type of happiness, that euphoria that comes with such a victory. So they can all go down the pub and get pissed and laugh. And, woohoo, we won, fuck all. They knew from the beginning that the Irish people would reject this. So they put it forward in such a way that the government has lost and the people have won. And the people are jumping up and down thinking they've had a great victory. Do not fucking rest on your laurels, because the next thing that's coming is going to be fucking twice as bad. And this may end up in this corrupt government getting kicked out and another corrupt government getting voted in. And then they can say, oh, we got rid of them. Yoo-hoo, we won again. We got rid of all these fucking asshole perverts and now we're going to start off with... No. Once you take on this democratic system, you are guaranteed to have lowlifes come knock on your door asking for your vote. It's all about democracy, and look how democracy can sort problems out, and look how democracy can get rid of these assholes that we just fucking had for the past God knows how many years, fucking the country up, for another set of assholes to come in and fuck the country up even more. There is a policy, it will be followed no matter who's in power. So having an election and changing your government is like having to change your baby's diaper when it's full and stinks. That's what it's like. Or I compared it before to the government are like the filter on a diesel engine. The engine is the cabal, the all-consuming fucking monster, and we are the fuel that it consumes. But in between you need a filter to filter out the dirt, otherwise the engine won't work. And after 5,000 miles or 5 years in office, that filter is fucking blocked. And it has to be taken out and removed and a new filter put in. Woohoo, we won. And this filter, these people in the filter, the so-called government, which means mind controllers, this filter exists for one reason and one purpose only, and that is for people to throw tomatoes and rotten eggs at. So that when the shit hits the fan, the people who cause all of the problems, who are the bankers, who are the Jesuit order, the Society of Jesus, those that cause all the problems and give all the orders to all the governments, not a single tomato gets to hit them and not a single rotten egg, because the people are fixated on the filtration system that exists between both, and they believe that this is the government and that they are in charge and they are in control, they are our enemy and they are what we have to take down. Yeah, sure, but they're just foot soldiers of the enemy. Satan's little helpers is what's all they are. But the people believe that they are the enemy. That's the enemy. There. And they go get their eggs and tomatoes, go throw them at them, bang, 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 and call them names and vote them out. And then another asshole comes in and he's worse than the last guy. And doing this constantly, it's the definition of madness, you know? Repeating the same thing over and over, the same experiment, trying to get a different result. It don't happen that way. We've been conned, we've been fooled. We've been fooled by the education system. The religious orders who run the education system. In America, that Rockefeller system that came in and rewrote all the new school books and gave them away for free. So people who were really writing real educational books couldn't sell them to the schools. They were already getting books for free. They're not going to pay you for truth. When they just accept the lies that are in the books, the new books that are coming out, and a whole new history of mankind was laid out. Yet you came from a monkey. And they dish this shit out. So anyway, that Jesuit order runs Ireland, always has, and will until they get kicked out. They've stolen all the land and all the property in the country, and they take all the taxes and all the court fines. You really don't fucking know the extent of the fraud that's been laid upon you all. So the corporate overlord, the banking cabal system, run by the church, what they call themselves a church. They're just the largest property and landowner in the world. Biggest collector of taxes. They rob everything of everybody so that people have to scrape the earth to survive, while they give billions and billions and trillions away to fight foreign wars for their land, future land grabs, which isn't working out for them. So these scumbags are a very, very tiny minority compared to the population of the world or the country that they're in. Yet they've got Alsatian dogs in uniforms with guns to keep you down and keep them up. The only thing that stops a lynch mob from going after these fuckers is their armed dogs in uniform. There's perspective for you. And Satan's little helpers. That's how I see them. And then these mugs that they give guns to keep the people down are fucking very low IQ people who sold their souls and have no feelings for other people. There's a word for people like that. They're sociopaths, brainless sociopaths, and they're cannon fodder too. They're stupid. They're being put in the front line of a conflict against the people. And they're also outnumbered. If the people did turn on them, they would all get the noose too. The system doesn't give a fuck. The system does not give a fuck how many policemen or army people get killed on their side, because they treat them the same as they treat us. They put both of us at each other. They set us at each other. So when you go out to protest, you've got these people standing in front of you with batons. And if you want to continue, you're going to have to go through that fucking baton charge, and it's going to end up a stick fight in the middle of the street. But they don't give a fuck who dies. And if a policeman or a soldier gets injured or gets killed, then they're jumping up and down with joy. They have another reason to come after you. They hate us, the people, and they hate the people that they employ to even protect them from us. So, that's two stories in a nutshell. That's George Mary Buggery all cutting off the money supply for one war so he can concentrate on another. And the people of Ireland believing that they've received a great victory, while in fact, it's just like I say, they've won. We won. We beat them. They've lost. So anyway, I'm going to leave it at that. It's a fucking cold, wet morning here. Pissing rain. I'm so far behind. I have so much outside work to do. I can't get it done. I got videos to make, proper videos, which I haven't got time to set up. I just decided here this morning, lie back, put my feet up, and let you all know what I'm thinking. And take heed to what I'm thinking, because this is what's actually happening. This is what's going on. So don't be jumping up and down on your laurels in Ireland. Prepare for what's coming next. I don't know what it's going to be. It's going to be worse than what it was before. So until you clean that swamp, you're going to suffer. They're going to keep stealing, keep robbing, keep pouring people out of their homes into tents on the street. Keep bringing in people from the medieval world who are going to eat your breakfast, lunch, and dinner. All right. Have a nice day, y'all. I'm going to leave it at that. Bye.